Folks are receiving a rude awakening for coming for you. All right. They're being woken up. All right. They're being jolted awake and being prompted or warned or punished for coming for you, for the havoc that they wreaked in your life. It's over with. These people know they're being sat down, right, and being shown the extent and the enormity of their wrongful ways and how it hurt other people. It could have been you who they were targeting, and it's over with. And there's consequences to pay for these kinds of foul actions. These folks are being sat down. It's like a child in trouble, where they think that they're getting away with anything and everything until, the parent comes and sits them down and says, listen, look at everything that happened here, like you can't, this, there's going to be punishments now, right? Because these folks went too far, right? And now the havoc that they wreaked in your world is now being unfolding in their life, right? It's a lot of things that they really should have thought twice about if they really should go out on this venture and do. And they did not think about it because they had vengeance on their heart. They had jealousy. You already know how jealousy changes people's minds, right? Like they had jealousy, they had envy at the forefront. They just were scorned. They were angry. They were jilted, and they did a lot of damage, trying to cause us pain, trying to cause us harm, right? And in the end, it was fruitless. In the end, it just did not work out. It did not pan out the way that they thought. And now the perpetrators are left with the aftermath of what they've done wrong, of the things that they did, right? So folks are getting a rude awakening, right, for really taking that step too far in trying to trouble you. I've had to deal with people who go too far, right? They do things that are very unwarranted. They do things that just, it just goes to show that this person is kind of more on the unhinged side of things, right? Where they don't care about nobody. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about the law. They don't care about punishments. They don't care about, stipulations. They don't care about anything. They don't care about what could go wrong anymore. They just went out on a limb trying to distract, trying to destroy me. And in the end, I see that they've been sat down, right? They've been scolded. They are in trouble for the things that they have done. And I don't have to, be the person that waves my finger at them. No, I don't have to do that. That unfolds by itself in whichever way it is happening to them, right? Or the way that it has already happened to them, right? Where folks really try, they look at me, they look at my life, whatever they think I have going on, and they go out on a tangent here trying to destroy everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if they could see what's brewing for me in my life. Like they want to make sure that they cover their tracks, and they want to make sure that they cover their bases and destroy what is still planted that didn't sprout yet. Like these folks go really far trying to destroy, to pretty much plow over, to demolish everything for me, everything in my life that I have going for myself, or what they think I could have going, because they're jealous, because they're haters. And they're getting a rude awakening that, listen, you have taken this anger too far. You have taken vengeance too far. You have taken your jealousy too far. You have went to a dark place that you cannot even get out of anymore because of how enormous it really is. The extent of it is really jarring. It's really creepy, right? These folks go way too far. Then they wonder why they get blocked. Then they wonder why they cannot come into your energy anymore. They can't be around your kids. They can't be in your house and your home. They wonder why that, they can't rattle you anymore, or they cannot be in your good graces. They cannot talk to you. They cannot hit you up. All of these, to them, calamities that are now unfolding, they think it's your fault. It's you. It's just you being mean and you being extreme, not the extreme acts that they took, not the diabolical things they did, but us blocking them, or they being blocked, them being blocked by a higher force than themselves. Like they think that's punishment, and so be it. If that's the punishment, then that's the punishment. But these people are getting that rude awakening. The rude awakening could be that they are blocked from your life. That could be the rude awakening that, oh my gosh, like I cannot go at this guy anymore. I cannot go at this woman anymore. I can't do nothing to them now. Wow. Like everything, all the bad deeds that I have perpetrated against this person have now backfired on me enormously. And now I'm really getting jolted awake by the reality that I cannot be in that person's life. I cannot be in their world. I cannot be in their home. I'm talking about restraining orders. I'm talking about the law. I'm talking about being blocked. Social media changing numbers. It's a lot of things that maybe had to happen to show this person that you cannot, you absolutely must not be a participant in my life anymore, right? Because you are dark, you are negative, right? You have caused a lot of harm, and we don't welcome that. So why would I allow this to continue, right? So, folks are getting that rude awakening, realizing that all their bad deeds have not only been seized, but it's like now it's shifted to them. All the negativity that was pointed at you is pointed at them. And then they see you continuing to live your life, to repair, to heal, to move on, to grow, to prosper. And they're left here like, I did that? It's like Steve Urkel, from Family Matters. I did that, right? Like, or did I do that? Yeah, they did do that, right? They did. And there are consequences for the enormity, right, of the wrongful acts that they have perpetrated. They're blocked. The rude awakening, they can't be around you. They can't be around your family. They cannot be in your life. They will never be trusted. What a rude awakening that is, knowing that all of your wrongful actions backfired. People see how snaky these perps can be. Someone's seeing how snaky they are. They can never be trusted again. That's a rude awakening, knowing that people are going to be looking at you like this, skeptical, uncomfortable because you're a snake. Like people are going to always have that. The perpetrator is going to realize, wow, the rude awakening, or one of the rude awakenings for them, is that they are a snake, and people will always treat them like that. No one is ever going to see them as a truthful person because of how far they went to being a snake, right? It could be anything. How far they lied. They can never be trusted. How far they stole. No one's ever going to trust them in their home. Like, no one's going to trust this person. How far they went to try to destroy. Who's going to let this person in their life? It's a rude awakening. Like, everything you did backfired. And it's only the perp that has to deal with the consequences, not the victims. The victims will rise, right? The victims will heal. They will prosper because that's what they were doing anyway. That's the route that they were already on, right? But the perpetrators, they're kind of left with the aftermath. They're kind of left with the negativity. They're left with the fragments of failed plots. And, that's their mess to clean it up. We're not the janitors. They got to clean that up. And they got to take that up with somebody else, but they don't have to take that up with us because we don't want that negativity in our lives. Everybody, let it be known if this video resonated with you. I thank you guys all so much for supporting the Mindset Elevator and helping the channel to grow. Thank you guys. Stay up, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye.